Hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So in today's class, we are going to discuss the important things related with this year's Republic Day. So I hope you are aware that very recently we celebrated Independence Day, Republic Day. So basically, there are a lot of things associated with this topic, with the topic of Republic Day 2025 that we should be knowing, like chief guest, and Padma Awards, etc., and all many other things that happen related with that. And the chief guest was from which country, and why do we celebrate on 26th January Republic Day? So these are the different facts which are generally asked in different exams. So that is why I have decided to discuss this in today's class. So am I audible, visible? Everything is fine? If yes, then please write yes in the comments so that we can start our session. So let us begin today's class. So this is about, we'll be discussing about the Republic Day 2025 event. Okay. So let us begin just. Okay. Yes. Okay, before moving on, there's a small announcement that actually we have already done Padma Awards class. And this is important in the backdrop of Republic Day. I hope you are aware. Just 1 day before Republic Day, generally 25th January के आसपास, we actually get to know about the Padma Awards. So first of all, go to our channel, subscribe to the channel, go to the live section पे जाना and go here and please watch it. Press the like button and I hope you will enjoy, you will like it because इससे बहुत सारे questions आते हैं. Okay. So Padma Awards के जितने winners हैं, there are 3 types of Padma Awards. I have discussed in detail. I have discussed about Bharat Ratna also, है ना? And I have discussed the important winners name also. Okay. Okay. So let's move on to today's class. Now, initial few questions I will not be giving option because I believe that you should be answering it even without option. We're a test tomorrow. Best of luck, Kushagra, for your test tomorrow. So here's the first question. Why do we celebrate 26th January as Republic Day? And I have not given the option because I believe that this is a very easy question and you all should be answering it. Yes, good evening, Priyanshi Goel, Kushagra, Hari, good evening. Please tell me, why do we celebrate 26th January as Republic Day? It's a very easy question. And I have not given the option, believing that you should be knowing. Pon Swaraj. Okay, but I'm asking why do we celebrate 26th January as Republic Day? आपने जो आंसर किया है, India adopted constitution. Yes, Hari, you are right. हाँ, प्रियांशी आप भी सही बताए हो, but let me explain it. Yes, Shreya, Subhash, you are also right. Because 26th January 1950, Indian constitution came into effect. Actually, सबसे perfect word है came into effect. Because adopted word लिखना भी perfect नहीं है, because when we use the word adopted, enacted, so the word used actually is 26 November के लिए मैं बताता हूँ, देखो. So we celebrate 26th January as Republic Day because 26th January 1950 the constitution came into effect. Okay? Although the constitution was adopted on 26th November 1949. So even adopted word लिखना भी perfect नहीं है. Okay? So you have to be careful why I'm saying, because let me show the preamble. So if you see carefully the preamble, it is said in our Constituent Assembly that 26th November 1949, नीचे में देखो लिखा है, second, third last line, do adopt, enact and give to ourselves the Constitution. So if someone is asking when the Constitution was adopted, when the Constitution was enacted, or so the answer would be 26th November 1949 because it is explicitly written in the preamble. So adopt or enact 26th November 1949 को हो गया था. But we fully implemented, अगर ये पूछा जाए fully implemented, yeah, came into effect, ऐसा वर्ड लिखा जाए completely, then you have to say that we waited for 2 months, 26 January 1950. Okay? Okay. Now, कुछ provisions थे, few provisions like citizenship etc. were implemented on 26 November 1949 only. Few provisions, but full implementation of the constitution happened on 26 January 1950. अब जो next question है, yes, and that is why 26 November, yes, you are right. Shreyas Reddy, you're right. And that is why 26th November is actually celebrated as Constitution Day. And earlier it was celebrated as Law Day. And now we call it as Constitution Day. Very good. Now, the next question is, I am saying that on 26th November 1949, the Constitution was adopted or adopted as mentioned in the preamble. But we waited for 2 months, 26 January 1950, to fully implement. But why we waited for 2 months? What was so special? However, some of the provisions were implemented. Some provisions were implemented on this date. Okay. On 26 November 1949, some provisions were implemented, but full implementation happened on 26 January 1950. Now, please tell me that what was the reason. And then now the answer to this question is what the Priyanshi Goel was writing. Okay. At that time, I was asking, why do we celebrate 26 January as Republic Day? This question is why 26 January 1950 was chosen as the date to fully implement. So why people waited, why the Constituent Assembly people waited for 2 months? Because, what is the answer? Please write. Because to match this date with what happened on 26 January 1930, 20 years back. Okay. So what happened on 26 January 1930? Yes, Priyanshi Goel, very good. Now you're right. Yes, to remember, Purn Swaraj Divas was celebrated on this date, 30 years back, 20 years back. Okay. So what is Purn Swaraj Divas? I'll give you some idea. So actually, I hope you are aware that every year, I mean, before independence, so Indian National Congress was set up in 1885. And generally speaking, INC, with few exceptions, generally the session used to happen in December. Okay. Every year in December, there used to have session on rotation basis. So what happened was, and I hope you are aware, before independence, so this was the entire India was undivided. So Pakistan, Bangladesh, everything was its part. So basically, here is a city called as Lahore, and which is on the bank of Ravi River. Okay. So in Lahore, actually, in December 1929, the Lahore session happens. And who was the president of this session of the Congress? Can anyone tell me? I'll be very happy. So this Congress session decides that next month on 26 January 1930, we will celebrate Purn Swaraj Divas. Purn Swaraj Divas. Or complete, in English we call it as Complete Independence Day. That is what you can translate it in English. Okay? Yes, Jawaharlal Nehru. Yes, Priyanshi Goel, Ganandar, Hari, you all right. Huh? So basically, so the answer is J.L. Nehru. Okay. Now, so that is why 26 January 1930 has a very important role in India's history or national movement. That is why here, when the Constitution was adopted already on 26 November 1949, as the preamble says, we waited for 2 months to ensure that this memory, to remember this Purn Swaraj Day, 26 January 1930. So we waited for 2 months to ensure that 20 years later on 26 January 1950, First Republic Day should be celebrated. Okay, I hope it is clear because I have explained in a very simple and lucid way, and these are asked in exam. ठीक है, उसकी याद में ताकि याद रखा जाए 2 महीना वेट किया गया था. So I hope it is clear. ठीक है, है ना? So you can see it here, Lahore session, 44th session of Indian National Congress took place in December 1929. Jawaharlal Nehru was the head of the session or president of the session, and it decided that 26 January 1930 should be celebrated as Purn Swaraj Day or Complete Independence Day, and it was done on the Ravi River. Indian tricolor at that time also was there. ठीक है ना? So it was hosted, and Congress rejected two-nation theory, etc. Let's move on to the next one. Who was the chief guest? This is a very important question. इसको star लगा लेना, because I have seen this type of question asked in different exams. ये पूछते हैं हर बार कि chief guest इस साल कौन थे? Who was the Republic Day chief guest in 2025? And if you tell me the name in the comment section, I'll be very happy. अगर आप नाम बता दोगे उनका तो मैं बहुत खुश होऊंगा Yes, Gyanendra, Safi, Shreya, Subhash, you all right. Priyanshi Goel. The right answer is Indonesian president. What is his name? Prabowo Subianto. Yes, Priyanshi Goel. Very good. So his name is Mr. Prabowo Subianto. ठीक है. So ये है left side वाले, है ना? So that is what he was the chief guest of 76th Republic Day. अच्छा, एक चीज और बताता हूं. We have completed 75 years of Republic Day, but this was the 76th Republic Day. क्यों? Because फर्स्ट रिपब्लिक डे 1950 में हुआ था फर्स्ट. ठीक है, तो 1951 में कौन सा होगा? सेकंड होगा. ठीक है, ऐसे कैलकुलेट करोगे तो 2025 में जो है वो 76th होगा. Why? Because we are counting 1950 also. So we have completed 75 years of first Republic Day since first Republic Day, but this year was 76th Republic Day. ठीक है, ये क्लियर होना चाहिए. Okay? Yes. So you can see it here. So these are the images. है ना? So Draupadi Murmu and Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto to live in traditional buggy. है ना? तो ये buggy है. इसमें लोगों ने ट्रैवल किया, इंडियन प्रेसिडेंट एंड इंडोनेशियन प्रेसिडेंट. ठीक है. Then let me discuss something about him. So before him, the president was Joko Widodo was the president of Indonesia. In fact, he was a defense minister under him. उनके अंडर में डिफेंस मिनिस्टर भी रहते हैं, है ना? And he's the third leader to have a military background after these two personalities. ठीक है. And he became the president of Indonesia. I mean, hardly 2 months back, 2 or 3 months back. ठीक है, ज्यादा दिन नहीं हुआ, 3 महीना हुआ hardly. Becoming the Indonesia's president. Okay, so that is what you should be knowing. Now I have some question. Can you please tell me, since Indonesia is in the news, please tell me the capital of Indonesia, the new proposed capital, and currency, because these are asked in exam. ये सब पूछते हैं. Since Indonesia is in the news, so they can ask it. Capital बताना है, new proposed capital, and the currency. I'll be very happy if you answer me. So where is India? And this one is Indonesia. Yes. And what is the capital? Jakarta, new capital Nusantara. Yes, Priyanshi Goel, Safi, Shreya, Subhash, you all right? Very good. देखो मैं I am zooming this region. ठीक है, so if you see it carefully, देखो पहले मैं दिखाता हूँ. ये वाला जो हिस्सा है ना, this one, जो ये मैंने ब्लू से बनाया, ये दोनों मिला के मलेशिया होता है. ठीक है, ठीक है. ओके. एंड ये वाला जो है इसको कहते हैं ब्रुनाई. द कैपिटल इज बंदर सेरी बेगावन. ठीक है. और जो बाकी बचा, सो विच आई एम मेकिंग इट विद पर्पल पेन. देखो ये वाला, दिस पर्पल से जो मैंने बनाया, दिस इज इंडोनेशिया. ठीक है, आई होप इट इज क्लियर. ठीक है. और यहां पर एक छोटा सा इंडिपेंडेंट कंट्री भी है, सिटी स्टेट टाइप, यहाँ पर समवेयर है, ये सिंगापुर यहाँ पर. ठीक है, तो उसको छोड़ दो. अदर देन दैट, दिस इज इंडोनेशिया. सो करेंटली द कैपिटल ऑफ इंडोनेशिया इज दिस, जकार्ता, एंड दे आर प्लानिंग टू मूव इट टू हियर, नूसंतारा. सो दिस इज अ न्यू प्रपोज्ड कैपिटल एंड दिस इज द करंट कैपिटल. ठीक है, आई होप इट इज क्लियर. Okay, and so let me discuss something about this. Yes, currency is rupiah. Very good, Priyashi Goel, great, and Shreya Subhash, you are also right. So president is Prabowo Subianto, we have discussed, and there are two houses. ठीक है, upper house and lower house. जैसे upper house मतलब जैसे इंडिया में राज्यसभा होता है, something similar to that, and Lok Sabha is India's lower house. So something similar to that. They have also two houses. They became independent from Netherlands around 1940s. Like India became 1940s में, उसी टाइम पर बहुत सारे कंट्रीज इंडिपेंडेंट हुए थे. जस्ट आफ्टर सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर इंडिया became independent, श्रीलंका, म्यांमार. So all these actually became independent during that time. ठीक है, so that is what you should know. The currency is rupiah. It is written like this, RUPIAH. Okay, so the current capital is Jakarta and they are planning to move it to Nusantara. ठीक है, so ये majority religion is Islam, then 87-88%, then 10% Christianity and all. ठीक है, then 1.7% Hinduism, 0.7% Buddhism, like that. Sorry. Okay, so let me discuss something about Indonesia. It is world's largest archipelagic state. Archipelago मतलब होता है group of islands which comprises of a country. ठीक है, तो archipelago उसको कहते हैं, group of islands को, है ना. So world's largest archipelagic state है and the 14th largest country by area. World's fourth most populous country. Populous means population wise. So population wise, India is the largest populated country, है ना? And fourth में है Indonesia is there. ठीक है. और जावा वर्ल्ड्स मोस्ट पॉपुलर आइलैंड है. तो जावा आइलैंड ये वाला देखो, मैं दिखा देता हूँ. लेट मी क्लियर इट. तो देखो, दिस वन इज सुमात्रा आइलैंड. ये सुमात्रा आइलैंड है ना. ये वाला जावा आइलैंड. एंड जावा आइलैंड में ही इसकी कैपिटल जकार्ता है. ठीक है, ठीक है. और यहाँ पर समवेयर है, यहाँ पर आपको मिलेगा बाली. बाली में G20 समिट हुआ था 3-4 years बैक, आई थिंक 2022 में, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. G20 summit had happened. Bali is a tourist destination also. Fine. So that is what we'll be discussing. है ना? Now, I hope you are aware that Indonesia is a part of UN, WTO, G20, NAM, ASEAN, ठीक है, East Asia Summit, बहुत सारे में. This is important because recently it has become the member of BRICS also. ठीक है, so आपको पता होना चाहिए कि BRICS till now comprises of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. और ये पूछा था भी ना CLAT के एग्जाम में, है ना, कि the last one to be added BRICS में S क्या है? So Brazil, Russia, India, China, S is South Africa. It got added in 2010. ठीक है, अभी क्या हुआ है? So they have decided to add some more countries. So these are Saudi Arab, Egypt, UAE, United Arab Emirates, Ethiopia, Iran and Indonesia. ओके, अच्छा ये क्वेश्चन मार्क में भी था. ओके ग्रेट. हाँ, लेकिन अभी सऊदी अरब जो है ना, वो फाइनल डिसीजन नहीं लिया है. तो यहाँ पे तो 11 लिखा, बट टेक्निकली एक्चुअली अभी 10 ही कंट्रीज मेंबर हैं. 5 पहले से थे. देखो, ब्रिक था, पहले होता था ब्रिक 2009 तक, ब्राजील, रशिया, इंडिया, चाइना. ठीक है, 2010 में ब्रिक्स हो गया, साउथ अफ्रीका गॉट एडेड. लास्ट ईयर ये 5 को फिर से 6 को ऐड किया गया. 1 2 3 4 5 6. ठीक है, सो 5 + 6 शुड बी 11. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज 6 को ऐड किया गया, बट सऊदी अरब हैज नॉट येट डिसाइडेड. पूरी तरह उन्होंने डिसाइड नहीं किया. सब ट्रम्प की वजह से अनलाइकली मे बी प्रियंशी, लेट अस सी. तो इसीलिए अभी हम आई एम नॉट कमेंटिंग. तो वी शुड नो कि 10 मेंबर्स हैं ब्रिक्स के, और द लेटेस्ट वन टू ज्वाइन इज इंडोनेशिया. ठीक है, जो सबसे लेटेस्ट है जिसने ज्वाइन किया वो इंडोनेशिया है. देखो, आप देखो 9 जनवरी अभी 2025 का है ना. एक गवर्नमेंट की वेबसाइट है, ब्राजीलियन गवर्नमेंट की वेबसाइट, उस पर जाना, बिकॉज G20 का हेड था ना ब्राजील लास्ट ईयर. So that is what you should be knowing about. Okay, आप लिखा ना 10 countries. So the latest one is Indonesia. तो ये पूछा जा सकता है because Indonesia is in the news, है ना. Then और अभी रिसेंटली ऐड भी हुआ. अच्छा, एक क्वेश्चन और आया था एलेट में प्रीवियस ईयर में कि ब्रिक जो टर्म है, this term was originally given by which person? In fact, लास्ट ईयर क्लैट में भी एक उसमें पैसेज में मेंशन था उस आदमी का नाम. So that person is mentioned last year in CLAT, and it was asked as a previous year question in ALET. Sorry. Name the person who gave the term BRIC. Jim O'Neill. Very good, Safi Nomani. Great. Jim O'Neill, head of Goldman Sachs. ठीक है, चेयरमैन है गोल्डमैन सैक्स के इन्होंने. तो पढ़िएगा, प्लीज रीड इट बिकॉज दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट नाउ. यस, प्रियंशी गोयल, यू आर राइट. ठीक है, Safi Nomani, Priyanshi Goyal, you both are right. ठीक है, तो ये पता होना चाहिए. Let's move on to the next one. Now, since we are talking about the Republic Day, chief guest, etc., now can you please tell me who was the chief guest in the first Republic Day in 1950? King of Nepal, President of USA, President of Malaysia, President of Indonesia. And if you tell me the name, I'll be very happy that you have properly read newspaper. नहीं, 2006 से पहले ही कॉइन किया था. 2006 में तो ब्रिक टर्म आ गया था. फर्स्ट समिट 2009 में हुई थी. 1990s के आसपास, आई थिंक 97, 98, 99 में किया था उन्होंने, प्रपोजल दिया था ब्रिक का. और बाद में जो है 2006 में ब्रिक स्टैब्लिश हुआ और फर्स्ट समिट 2009 में हुई थी. सो द राइट आंसर इज डी, प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडोनेशिया. सुकर्नो इनका नाम था, सुकर्नो. यस, तू करके नाम था. यस, हाँ, सैफी नोमानी, प्रियंशी गोयल, श्रेया, सुभाष, यू आर राइट. सुब्रोतो नहीं, सुकर्नो नाम है. ठीक है, आई गॉट इट कि अगर आपको ऑप्शन में मिलेगा तो आप मार्क कर दोगे, बट स्टिल इफ यू नो इट, इट्स बेटर. इंडोनेशिया के प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडोनेशिया थे. और एक्चुअली सुकर्नो इज इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस में इनका नाम आता है, और वो आता है नॉन अलाइन मूवमेंट में. सो द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ नॉन अलाइन मूवमेंट वाज स्टार्टेड बाय 5 पर्सनालिटी. वन ऑफ देम इज इंडियन प्राइम मिनिस्टर जवाहरलाल नेहरू. ठीक है, and the other one is actually Sukarno, the Indonesia's president. There are 5 personality. तो एक थे यूगोस्लाविया के जोसेफ टीटो, इंडियन प्राइम मिनिस्टर जवाहरलाल नेहरू, इजिप्शियन प्राइम मिनिस्टर जमाल अब्दुल नासिर, एंड घाना के प्रेसिडेंट क्वामे नक्रूमा, एंड इंडोनेशियाज प्रेसिडेंट सुकर्नो, ठीक है। सो इसलिए भी इनका नाम, सो आई एम थिंकिंग कि अगर कभी मौका मिलेगा सो विल बी हैविंग ए क्लास ऑन ऑनलाइन मूवमेंट, आई विल प्लान समवेयर, ठीक है। सो बिकॉज आई थिंक ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, ठीक है। अब देखो रिसेंट ईयर्स में, इस साल को तो आपको पता होना चाहिए 2025 इज प्रबोध सुबोंतो इंडोनेशिया, ठीक है ना। इससे पहले जो लास्ट ईयर मिला था, बुलाया गया था इमैनुअल मैक्रोन, द फ्रेंच प्रेसिडेंट को बुलाया गया था, he was invited, and before that Abdul Fattah al-Sisi from Egypt was invited. और इधर तो 2 साल कोविड चल रहा था, I hope you are aware, so there were no guests. So otherwise old नहीं पूछते हैं, जनरली इसी साल में पूछेंगे, so try to remember it about प्रबोध सुबोंतो, ठीक है। एंड जो होस्ट होते हैं वो प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया ना, सो शी वाज द्रौपदी मुर्मू वाज द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया, इज द प्रेसिडेंट आल्सो। So you can see these images, Anna, of Indonesia's president in the parade. Now please tell me, इस रोड को क्या कहते हैं? I'll be very happy to know if you tell me, which connects the Raisina Hill to that India Gate and all. And it was in fact recently renamed also. Recently, मतलब 1-2 साल पहले उसका नाम भी बदला गया था. Yes, कर्तव्य पथ और राजपथ, ठीक है. So it is कर्तव्य पथ और राजपथ. Earlier it was known as King's Way. नहीं, रेड फोर्ट रोड नहीं है, रेड फोर्ट रोड अलग है, ठीक है. कर्तव्य पथ इट इज कॉल्ड, अर्लियर इट वाज कॉल्ड एज राजपथ, सो कर्तव्य पथ अब कहते हैं. एंड बिफोर लाइक इंडिपेंडेंस इट वाज कॉल्ड एज किंग्स वे, ठीक है ना. सो राष्ट्रपति भवन रायसीना हिल वाला जो रूट है इंडिया गेट से कनेक्ट करता है, ठीक है, नेशनल वॉर मेमोरियल. सो यहाँ से यहाँ तक तो यही पर सारी झांकी वगैरह आती है, ठीक है. दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड नो. ओके, स्क्रीन प्रॉब्लम, इज देयर एनी इशू? ओके फाइन, ठीक है. सो देखो, दीज आर एक्चुअली द टैब्ल्यू, उसको हम लोग टैब्ल्यू कहते हैं, है ना. झांकी कहते हैं हिंदी में, झांकी भी कॉल इट एज. तो इस तरह की बहुत सारी झांकी दिखाएगी. देखो ना, 75 इयर्स वी हैव कंप्लीटेड. सो डिफरेंट मिनिस्ट्रीज, देखो ये जनजातीय कार्य मंत्रालय, सो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ ट्राइबल अफेयर्स, है ना. सो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस, है ना. यस श्रेया सुभाष, हाँ, राष्ट्रपति भवन, इंडिया गेट एंड दैट वॉर मेमोरियल इज अ स्ट्रेट लाइन, राइट. हाँ, देन दिस इज ऑफ उत्तराखंड, ठीक है. दिस इज ऑफ हरियाणा. मैं सबका नहीं फोटो दिखा सकता हूं बिकॉज झारखंड का ये, ठीक है. सो दीज आर टैब्ल्यू और झांकी बीइंग शोन. दिस इज ऑफ स्टेट ऑफ गुजरात एंड डिफरेंट मिनिस्ट्रीज का, जैसे आंध्र प्रदेश का ये, ठीक है. ये ट्वाइस होता है एक तरह का, इसको जीआई टैग भी मिला हुआ है. गो एंड फाइंड आउट फ्रॉम आंध्र प्रदेश, प्लीज टेल मी. ये हो गया नवीन और नवीकरण ऊर्जा मंत्रालय, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ न्यू एंड रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, ठीक है. तो इसका ये न्यू एंड रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी आप देखिए, आपको पता चल रहा होगा. सो इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट actually the green energy, है ना. So wind energy and all, ठीक है. Then this is the state of Bihar. So Gautam Buddha's land, है ना. Gautam Buddha was born in Bihar and all. So that is what is being shown here, ठीक है. Then Karnataka. So this is Karnataka. It's very famous. There's a city in Karnataka called as Hampi, है ना. Famous for, it was the capital of Vijayanagar Empire. Capital of Vijayanagar Empire. उसमें बहुत सारे temples हैं. विजयनगर एम्पायर के टेम्पल्स उसी को शो कर रहा है यहाँ पे, ठीक है. सो आई होप यू आर अवेयर. देन वन मोर थिंग वी शुड बी नोइंग कि फर्स्ट टाइम ट्राई सर्विस टैब्ल्यू वाज देयर. ट्राई सर्विस मींस ऑल द थ्री, आर्मी, एयरफोर्स और नेवी का एक साथ तीनों का भी एक टैब्ल्यू शो किया गया था. दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बी नोइंग विद द थीम सशक्त और सुरक्षित भारत, स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड सिक्योर इंडिया, ठीक है. सो दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बी नोइंग अबाउट. So these are some of the images. I mean, of course, it is very difficult to do these stunts, but you can see they have done it. And yes, these are, है ना, तो ये वाला. So that is what you should be knowing. हाँ, ये बग्गी है, ट्रेडिशनल स्टाइल बग्गी होता है. इसमें क्या होता है कि मतलब इंडियाज प्रेसिडेंट इज देयर एंड इंडोनेशिया द गेस्ट, है ना. ही वाज एक्चुअली टेकन लाइक दिस. दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बी नोइंग. एक दो चीज और मैं बताऊंगा. व्हाट वी कॉल इट एज, डू यू अंडरस्टैंड द कांसेप्ट ऑफ सॉफ्ट पावर? It is used in international diplomacy. And who gave this concept? I'll be very happy if you know, if you tell me. Because ये इसी से connected है, ठीक है. तो actually हुआ क्या, अगर आप YouTube पे सर्च करोगे you will get this song. I cannot run the song because it might have copyright issues. तो एक song है शाहरुख खान की फिल्म का, कुछ कुछ होता है. It's a very famous film, I think maybe 20-25 years old or I think more than that, of Shahrukh Khan, है ना. So this was being sung. This song was being sung by the people who came from Indonesia. So the delegates, and they sung inside when Rashtrapati Bhavan mein dinner host kiya gaya tha for the Indonesian delegates, and they came and sung this "Kuch Kuch Hota Hai" song. So you can search on YouTube and you will get the song sung by them. ठीक है. So है ना. तो इसमें क्या है? Why actually these things? These are actually the example of cultural exchange. है ना. जैसे मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कल्चर जो है ना, फॉरेन, जब when we have interaction with other country, the main ministry which is involved is Ministry of External Affairs, but there are other ministries also, like Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Culture is also involved. ठीक है. कल्चरल एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम होता है डिफरेंट कंट्रीज का. ठीक है. So why? Because there is a concept called a soft power given by Joseph Nye. Yes, Priyanshi Goel, very good. You have answered it. This is a very important concept in international relation, which means it is not coercive power. It is actually the power to co-opt rather than coerce. यानी अपना छाप दूसरे कंट्री पर छोड़ना है बिना मिलिट्री पावर यूज किए. For example, I am teaching you in English. I am teaching you in the language of English. So this is a soft power of Western world. मैं आपको अंग्रेजी में पढ़ा रहा हूँ, हमारी लैंग्वेज इंडियन लैंग्वेज तो नहीं है, but still I'm teaching you in English. So this is the impact. This is called a soft power. So then of course films are also the part of soft power. Like अगर इंडिया का soft power क्या होगा तो क्या होगा? जैसा ब्रिटिश का, यूएस का soft power होगा हॉलीवुड फिल्म्स. So if Indians are watching Hollywood films, this is an example of soft power of America. If we are speaking in English, this is an example of soft power of Western world in India. Then at the same time, if India is talking about in United Nations, going to the UN headquarters in New York, and India is talking about yoga or celebrating yoga on 21st June, International Yoga Day, then it is an example of soft power. We are talking about our own culture at the world level. In fact, United Nations has accepted this as a UN General Assembly has passed it. Similarly, Indian films are being watched at world level. Okay, if you get a chance to talk about people from other country, I myself have talked, and they say that yes, many of them actually watch Indian films and all. Indian films, celebrities, they know, and very cultural programs and all. So these are actually the examples of the cultural exchange. अगर आपको कभी मौका मिलेगा तो आप पढ़िएगा कल्चरल डिप्लोमेसी एंड सॉफ्ट पावर क्या होता है. So external affairs ministry, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Culture also is actually involved in this. In fact, there are other programs. जैसे आपने सुना होगा प्रवासी भारतीय दिवस. Have you heard this? It happens on 9th January. इसमें भी cultural exchange program होता है. ठीक है. Then we have No India program. So these all are part of the cultural exchange program to promote India's culture at world level. ठीक है. India soft power diplomacy. उसके लिए एक बाकायदा एक organization बनाई गई थी. Indian Council of Cultural Research. It is under Ministry of External Affairs. Okay. So Indian Council of Cultural Affairs, established in 1950. It was founded by Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, the first education minister of India. Okay. So to promote India's culture at world level. Okay. So that is the idea about it. Okay. Or promotion of culture, because it's considered as part of soft power. अब जिसमें आपको एक और example देता हूँ. 2 years back, I think, when Prime Minister Modi visited Egypt, so there was an Egyptian girl who was singing this old Indian Bollywood song, "ये दोस्ती हम नहीं छोड़ेंगे," etc. And आपने सुना होगा ये गाना. So this is also an example of cultural exchange or soft power and all. Okay. Then Prime Minister Modi visiting other places, mosque, temple, church, etc. in the different countries and all. Okay. So ये सब भी आप देख सकते हो. These all are the examples of that. अब देखो ये जो है ना गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने, when Prabhu Savanto he came to India, so the government of India actually issued the press release कि क्या क्या बातें हुई. ठीक है. So the chief guest, we have invited him as chief guest, है ना, Sukarno, the president of Indonesia. ठीक है. इसमें the prime minister of India and president Indonesia held bilateral discussion, dialogues and all. तो बहुत सारी चीज में discussion हुआ है ना, political, defense, security, maritime, economic, health, pharmaceutical. So we have seen some talks and also, है ना. अब इसमें अगर आप चाहो तो पूरा पढ़ सकते हो, बट हम एक एक वर्ड तो नहीं बताएंगे, बट की वर्ड्स जो है आई कीप ऑन टीचिंग यू, है ना. हाँ, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल, अच्छा ये समझते हो, डू अंडरस्टैंड $1.5 ये समझते हो ट्रैक 2 डिप्लोमेसी एंड ऑल, डू अंडरस्टैंड दिस? ट्रैक 1 डिप्लोमेसी मींस डायरेक्ट फॉरेन आईएफएस ऑफिसर्स, इंडियन फॉरेन सर्विस ऑफिसर्स टॉकिंग, द फॉरेन सर्विस, द डिप्लोमैट्स ऑफ द 2 कंट्रीज. फिर एक होता है ट्रैक 2 डिप्लोमेसी. उसमें क्या होता है कि नॉन ऑफिसर को भेजा जाता है, नॉन डिप्लोमैट को. जैसे मान लीजिए जर्नलिस्ट को भेज दिया गया, अ जर्नलिस्ट ऑफ वन कंट्री इज सेंट, अ प्राइवेट जर्नलिस्ट को, जाओ उस कंट्री से बात करो. So that's called as track 2. and track 1.5 is between somewhere, any mixture of both foreign service officers, the diplomats and non-diplomats, both are involved in diplomacy. ठीक है, so non-diplomats का भी role होता है diplomacy में. That is what you should be knowing. And then we are having joint military exercise, Garuda Shakti, Samudra Shakti. So ये सब joint military exercise है ना? So these are the things you should be knowing. ठीक है. Then इसमें क्या देख रहे हो पोजिशन आई लो, इसमें कुछ और इंपॉर्टेंट तो मैं बताता हूँ. हाँ, so Indonesia is one of largest trading partner in ASEAN, है ना? तो आपको पता होगा. So this is India. This is actually the group we have. There is a grouping called as ASEAN, and a 10-member grouping, Association for Southeast Asian Nation. So I'm planning कि अगर इसमें भी मौका मिलेगा, so I'll bring a class for that. तो ASEAN कंट्री से इंडिया का अच्छा रिलेशन है जनरली, है ना? So that is what, of course, Indonesia is also a part of that ASEAN countries and all. ये बता रहे हैं, ठीक है? Then let me see if there is anything, है ना? Prabhu Sawant express appreciation for India's support in Indonesia's mid-day meal scheme. ठीक है? So जैसे इंडिया में मिड डे मील स्कीम होता है, so mid day meal scheme means what? मतलब ये होता है कि जैसे I hope you are aware कि in government schools lunch are provided for free, है ना? So this concept originally started from the state of Tamil Nadu and later on implemented in entire India. ठीक है? तो इसी तरह का he was also impressed with this concept of mid day meal scheme. So it will be taking help from India to implement it in their own country. ठीक है? फिर एनर्जी सिक्योरिटी में बात हुई, रिन्यूएबल एनर्जीज एंड ऑल. ठीक है? इसको थोड़ा सा पढ़ लेना, ये नानो कैन गैस ब्लॉक प्रोजेक्ट एंड ऑल. Just read it. I have attached all those things here, so you can pause the video and read about it in detail. So, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में इंडोनेशिया, मलेशिया, थाईलैंड ग्रोथ ट्रायंगल की बात है. So please read about this. ठीक है? And ठीक है, let me discuss if there is anything special, है ना? ये पढ़िएगा, आई-टेक, ये कई बार न्यूज में रहता है, इंडियन टेक्निकल इकोनॉमिक कॉर्पोरेशन. प्लीज रीड दिस. ठीक है? एंड देयर ICCRY, इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ कल्चरल रिलेशन, मैंने आपको बताया. So they have established its chair in Indonesia at different university to promote India's culture at different places, है ना? So Indian culture को promote करने के लिए ICCR is there, है ना? फिर ancient ties between Indonesia and India की बात की, जैसे for example Nalanda University and all. ठीक है? So these are the things being talked about. ठीक है, let me see. हाँ, now we'll be talking about this कि India actually organizing Voice of Global South Summit. तो ये मैंने आपको कई बार बताया है, but again let me discuss. देखो, this is actually called as ब्रांड लाइन. ठीक है ना? एंड ब्रांड लाइन के ऊपर जो है उसको हम लोग कहते हैं ग्लोबल नॉर्थ, विच आर एक्चुअली डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज, एंड द साउथ वन इज कॉल्ड एज ग्लोबल साउथ. सो द रेड वंस. तो ग्लोबल साउथ मींस डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज. तो ग्लोबल नॉर्थ में कौन कौन आ जाएगा? जैसे यूएस है, कनाडा है, पूरा वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज है, रशिया है. सो दीज ऑल आर, ये पूरा यूरोपियन कंट्रीज है ना. एंड ग्लोबल साउथ में लाइक इंडिया इज एक्चुअली पार्ट ऑफ, है ना, ग्लोबल साउथ. इंडोनेशिया भी ग्लोबल साउथ में आता है. सो बेसिकली इंडिया हैज एक्चुअली ऑर्गेनाइज्ड वॉइस ऑफ ग्लोबल साउथ समिट, है ना. इनफैक्ट कहा भी जाता है कि इंडिया इज एक्चुअली द लीडर ऑफ ग्लोबल साउथ. सो दीज आर द वर्ड्स यू शुड बी नोइंग इट. इंडिया एज द लीडर ऑफ ग्लोबल साउथ. ठीक है? सो एक्चुअली प्रेसिडेंट प्रभु सवंत appreciated India's initiative to organize Voice of Global South Summit. Why Global South? Because the problems or the grievances of the Global South are same against Global North. It's a WTO में there are issues between developing and developed countries. So all the developing countries are on one side and all the developed countries are on other side. Similar is the case with environment issues and all. ठीक है? तो डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज के बहुत सारे एक ही इंटरेस्ट है जो कि डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज पर वो लोग मतलब एक तरह से डिप्लोमेटिकली प्रेशर डालते हैं ना. सो दैट इज व्हाई द लॉट ऑफ कॉमन थिंग or the common point, we are on common ground as far as developing countries are concerned. Okay, so that is why India has come up with the concept of Voice of Global South, so that we can raise the voice of developing countries in front of already developed world, or like global north, है ना. That is what is the concept, है ना. फिर India is currently the vice chair of Indian Ocean Rim Association. Indian Ocean Rim Association IORA है. तो इसमें जो भी इंडियन ओशन है ना, उसके आसपास की जो कंट्री है जो इंडियन ओशन को टच करती है, so mostly those countries are that they are member of Indian Ocean Rim Association. There are some exceptions, but generally that is the idea. So फिर एक चीज और मैंने देखा था, इंटरनेशनल बिग कैट अलायंस. इससे भी क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस. ठीक है? बिग कैट मींस देयर आई थिंक 7 or 8 एनिमल्स विच आर कंसिडर्ड एज बिग कैट्स, जैसे लेपर्ड हो गया, ठीक है, चीता हो गया, टाइगर हो गया, then I think puma is there, jaguar is there, like that. So just search big cat and you will get to know. So उसके लिए to protect that, there's an international big cat alliance with India's initiative, or international solar alliance is to utilize the solar energy for renewable or for energy creation, and for or what we call it as the utilization of solar energy for making electricity and all. So that is the idea. This is also an initiative of India along with France, started in 2015. So that is what is being talked about here. Okay. So I think I have discussed much about this. एक चीज और बताना है, tomorrow we'll be discussing, अभी एक चीज न्यूज में, I hope you are aware, there's an artificial intelligence technology built by China which is very much in the news. क्या नाम है उसका? आज से कल से ट्रेंड कर रहा था मींस, and that is why. Can you please tell me? So I'll be having a session tomorrow on that. किसी को पता है? डीप सीक. Okay. So because artificial intelligence is very much in the news, so we'll be having a session. AI पे questions आ सकता है अभी भी, और deep seek is very much in the news in the last 1 or 2 days. So we'll be having a session tomorrow on that. So this is all about today's class. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.